Hey guys, it's Stars and Moon Tarot, and I'm back again for another weekly reading. This is going to be for May 13th through May 19th, and just a shout out, it's my birthday next week. Pretty excited about that. I'm turning 26 on Sunday. Yeah, super excited about that because it's the last episode of Game of Thrones. Just finished watching the 5th episode. Holy cow, has me sitting on the edge of my seat, and can't wait for the last one. And then I'm also like having steak and I'm just treating myself and I'm like, yes, this will be great. And then also I want to thank you guys for like watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Just because I know this is a place that I can like talk about esoteric stuff. Yeah. And you know, like mystical things, spiritual things. I've really appreciated that because like if I were to go to work and like talk about these things, it's just like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what tarot is. So I've really appreciated like doing this because I know that like the people that click on my Instagram page, the people that click on YouTube, they definitely want to see like pick a card readings. They definitely want to see weekly readings. So I have appreciated that so much. And then also this is going to be my last video as well. So like next week it's going to be done. Just because like the move that I've made from like South Dakota to North Dakota, it's been really good. I have like a job that pays quite a bit. I have more money, like I'm actually able to afford things versus like the job that I had in South Dakota. It was a part-time job. I was barely making rent by the end of the month and like affording like utilities, essentials, those sort of things. And now I'm actually able to afford those things, but I've been like thinking about what I want to do long term. And I think I'm gonna like go back to school and like focus on my art, or at least spend more time like focusing on my art. And it takes time, it takes dedication to do that sort of stuff. And instead of like spreading my energy everywhere, I just kind of want to dedicate my time, energy towards one thing. So yeah, that's a reason for it. I mean, like I've loved doing tarot because it's helped me. I feel like it's helped me like learn about my power and help me manifest like things in my life. It's made me think differently about my life and like my past experiences and helped me grow. But I'm only one person. I can't do everything. And I definitely don't want to like slack off and give you guys like shitty videos, for lack of a better word. So yeah, this is gonna be my last video. And actually, these are some of my drawings that I've done. And like I said, like doing art, it takes time. It takes energy doing these things. And I want to dedicate more time towards that. And it's nothing against tarot. I mean, I love it. And I almost cried. But when push came to shove, I had to like think about it. And I'm just like, I can't be running all over the place, putting my energy in like spurts of things. So, yeah, that is that. But yeah, I will keep the video up until next week, Sunday. And after that, my Instagram account is going to be closed. This is going to be my last video. And like I said, I've appreciated your guys' support. I've appreciated anything. It's nothing against you guys. It's just, I can't be running around doing everything. So, yeah. And anyways, on to the reading now. This is The Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. This is Angel Therapy Cards by Doreen Virtue. This is the Romance Angel Cards by Doreen Virtue. And then this is the Oracle of the Mermaids by Lucy Cavendish. And actually, it's supposed to be like that. But this is going to be explain like the situation, and this is going to be helpful advice for the rest of the week. So let's see what is in stores. 2 of Wands, 6 of Swords, the Empress, the Hermit, and the Death card. Okay, so not gonna lie, when I saw this card, it made me think baby making time. Because the Empress represents like everything that is feminine, everything that is motherly. She's the epitome of like feminine energy. She also represents like creativity, inspiration, fertility. You can see that baby bump there. Inspiration, beauty, creation. And she's also ruled by Venus. But she did show up in reverse, and it can represent, you know, like domestic problems and not so great things. But with her, I don't necessarily see this as not so great things. I see this more as like not owning your power entirely, or not like fully coming into your power, or you're having like some sort of like fertility issues and doubts. Because you have the Two of Wands here, and this is like a, oh, what's it? This is like a partial success. Six of Swords, this is leaving things behind that like no longer work for you, and this is more of like thought patterns, because Swords represents like your thoughts, the way you talk, mental energy. And then you have the Hermit. This one is, I call it the silent traveler, because he is more of an introvert and he does more of like soul searching and soul traveling. He's actually represented by Virgo. Virgos are very clean and they are highly intuitive, but it's more of like it goes through their mind first and then it's verified by their gut. Like if something doesn't make sense logically, then they have to go through their gut and like try to figure out more like, why isn't this making sense? But anyways, when they are introverted, they kind of go into their cave, they go into their shell, and then once when they emerge, they are like this pillar of light, or this light of knowledge. And then the Death card, this doesn't literally mean a death, it's more like metaphorically, it's about getting rid of things that no longer work for you and making room for things that are going to bring you joy, happiness, success. It can be a little bit harsh, it can be, you might be a little bit resistant just because it happens so fast, but it's meant to be good for you. And I feel like for quite a few of you, either you are going to be thinking about like having children, like that's going to be on your mind, and like maybe previously you have tried so many times, nothing has worked, maybe you found out you were infertile, but I feel like now there's going to be some sort of shift and it's going to be like, it's go time. Otherwise, if you're not thinking about like having kids, it's going to be like maybe in the past you had this really good idea, you had super good intentions for this idea, you're ready to go, you're revving, roaring, but there was something from the universe was just saying like, now's not the time to do it. You took that personally, like, oh my gosh, this is not a good idea, why does the universe hate me? And you probably built up some sort of resentment. And I also feel like because of this rejection, because you weren't granted like what you wanted right away, it forced you like a self-transformation. Like you had to go through like this growth spurt. Like do a lot of soul searching. It's like, yeah, your idea was really good. It might not have been like the world wasn't ready for you. It might not have been the universe wasn't ready for you. It wasn't the right time because maybe you didn't have all the right skills for this project yet, for whatever you wanted to do. But now you have grown so much from like that time that you made that request to like now that you are more than qualified to like take this on, because you have like gained so many different skills, you've gained so many different assets that are going to help you. And when you look back on it, you're just like, wow, I'm like really grateful I went through this, even though it like sucked going through this. Maybe it was super difficult for you, but now you're kind of going to look back and be like, oh, I didn't realize like I needed this because I have like these sorts of skills now because of that job or because I did whatever. So I feel like this is also going to be like a major shift for you. Like you're thinking differently about past experiences. And also, I feel like you're coming into your power a little bit more, like even though this was in reverse, like you have definitely grown from like that person that you were before to like now, like yeah, you might have some insecurities, but you're also figuring out like how the world works and how the universe works and how you can use that for you, like the powers of manifestation, law of attraction. You're figuring out like how that could work for you instead of against you, or you're figuring out like how you can use your weaknesses and turn them into strengths to make something beautiful and awesome. So, what do the Oracle of the Mermaids have to say about this week? Time and Tide, Oceanic Spells and Rituals. Atlantis, Rapid Development, Excellence, Success. Sanctuary, Privacy, Inviolate Personal Space, Respected Boundaries, and Taboos. energy field adjustment, aura cleansing and health. Irama, or I'm Rama. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I'm going to pronounce it I'm Rama. Wonder voyage, crossing deep waters, pilgrimage, journey of the soul. Yeah, so like when I see time and tide in Atlantis, definitely makes me think that whatever you had before, like whether you were planning to have kids, whether you had this idea that you wanted to go after, it just wasn't the right time. But now, like, you've worked on yourself so much that now is the time. And you might be second guessing yourself because maybe in the past you were also just like, okay, you thought you had everything ready to go. And like now, whatever opportunities presented to you this week, you might be like, these were kind of like the same like circumstances. These were kind of like the same situation that happened before and I wasn't given to it then. It's like, why is it okay now? And it's because like you've grown so much. Like you literally have grown so much. You have so much more experience than you did in the past. Like now is the time to like act on that again. And then when I see I'm Rama, makes me think, yeah, like the Hermit, you've grown, like you've changed. So I guess like those 3 cards, you've definitely like grown and changed since then. And then energy field adjustment. This one is more about like you changing your mindset and realizing, excuse me, give me 1 second. I had to get a drink of water quick. My voice has always been raspy, but that was a little bit weird. Anyways, this is all about like the mindset that you had after that rejection. So you had that really good idea, or maybe you wanted to have kids, you brought up the idea with your significant other, they rejected it, or they're just like, oh, it's not the right time right now. And I feel like you took that personally, like whatever it was, whether it was with your partner, whether it was an idea that you had, you took it personally because it wasn't granted, and you built up like some sort of resentment around that. And it's like, no, you had the best intentions. You had like the right idea. It's just, it wasn't the right time. And now you're like switching your perspective and you're just like, wow, if I didn't go through that growth, if I didn't go through that transformation, if I didn't get rejected, then this wouldn't have happened. And you're kind of figuring out like how things are working out for you and like timing to be just right. And with Sanctuary, I do see this a little bit as like the Irama and the Hermit, like you had to go in a little bit, do a little bit of soul searching. But also it says privacy, inviolate personal space, respected boundaries, and taboos. It makes me think of the Death card, because the Death card is actually ruled by Scorpio. They are about owning their power. They are about things that are mysterious, taboo, sex, things that not everybody talks about. And they also have like personal space too. Like there's a line that you just don't cross. So yeah, if somebody comes into your life, if they do that, I feel like you're going to be able to detect that right away. Or you're going to be more sure of yourself, like what you can handle, what you can't, all because of this like change that you've gone through. Oh, yeah. And I feel like this is, I don't think I said this before, but I'm going to repeat it if I have. I feel like this is a little bit of the energies from like last week, but last week it was like really positive. It was really upbeat. Like you were definitely reaping what you were sowing. You were definitely in your power. But if there was something that you had to say, it might have upset the apple cart a little bit, or it was just like your idea differed from like where you're at right now, that not everybody is going to be on board with it, or it's so far into the future, like it's so forward thinking that not everybody is catching up to it. And I feel like this week is a little bit like that too, with the Two of Wands being right there, that if there's an idea that you have, like not everybody will catch on to it. It might be that where you're at right now, like yeah, the universe wasn't ready for it, but now it's like okay to do that. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Alright. And also Sanctuary, like I think of water signs. Like it makes me think of Cancer. Like tending to your home. It's okay to rest and retreat. as well. Like taking a break from things, because life can get exhausting. Life can get pretty crazy, pretty hectic. So it's okay to just go into your personal space and respect yourself as well. So let's see what the Angel Therapy Oracle cards have to say. Listen to your intuitive feelings. Your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. Crown Chakra. Pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answer to your prayers. Sacral Chakra. You are highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. God Box. Write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God Box, as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. Yeah, so like, with this, oh shoot, yeah, definitely with sacral chakra, like I believe your sacral chakra is the same as your root chakra, and your sacral chakra actually is the powerhouse of like your sexual energy, like your sexuality, your erogenous zones, or not your erogenous zones, your sexuality, your sexual organs, there we go. It's in charge of that. So I definitely feel like you're having that sexy back attitude. You're feeling good about yourself, like you still have some things that you gotta work on, but you have definitely grown. And there's also something that's, gosh, it's like glaring at me, that you're just gonna know like what's up. Even if you have some doubts, you're still gonna like know what's up, because you're gonna get like guidance from the universe. Like your intuition is trying to tell you, and your angels, if you believe in that, the divine is trying to like tell you, and they're telling you like through your intuitive feelings. So definitely pay attention to that. Like if you have off feelings about somebody, it's like that's because there's a reason you have off feelings about somebody. It could be that they're hiding something from you. It could be that you haven't come to terms with something within yourself. But definitely pay attention to like the messages and the intuitive feelings that you're getting right now, because even if not everybody is agreeing with you at the moment, it's like later on they will catch on to it, because you're being like divinely guided. So it might not make sense like at the moment, but it's like in the future, like the things that you're doing, you're gonna be glad that you did it. And then the God Box, like I said, even though you're feeling like sexy back, you might have like a little bit of concerns or like worries. If you're planning on like having a kid, it could be, you know, like, gosh, I don't know if I'm ready for this because I still have some things that I gotta work on, or maybe I don't have my finances in order. It could also be like you have an idea and you're not just sure how like everybody is gonna receive it. I feel like you're also gonna be guided about that as well, like your intuitive feelings. It's gonna tell you like how you can get over that and how you can calm yourself down, whether you need to retreat for a little bit, whether you need to talk to somebody else about it, or it can be just as simple as like writing this down, and as it suggests, like putting it in a God Box, because it's your way of like letting go and kind of letting the universe solve your problems, or allowing somebody to like actually come in and help you solve your problem. Alrighty. And then the last one, the Romance Angel Oracle cards. Children. Oh, this is funny. Your love life is being affected by children. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And the last one, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Okay. So with the children, I see this going like in many different ways. Again, if you're thinking about having children this week, you're definitely gonna like jump your partner's bones and be like, let's get it on. Like now. And then also it could be that if you do have children, you're going to be more focused on them this week. I know that school is getting out. You could be thinking like, where am I going to get like daycare, because maybe you worked like during the time that they went to school, and now that school is done, what are you going to do? Like you're probably going to have to find a daycare provider or a babysitter, do something to like take care of them, or you have to make a decision that involves children in some way. It could just be that you need to look after their needs a little bit more. On the other hand, if you're not pregnant, if you're not in a relationship, not thinking about kids, I see this as an idea, because when I saw these two cards, it made me think of like 5th house and like Leo things, because 5th house, Leo, relates to like creativity, inspiration, love, your hobbies, and children. It just made me think that it was so blended easily into that 5th house. So if you're not pregnant, if you're not thinking about having kids, this could also be a passion project or a hobby that you are gonna be thinking about this week. And then engagement, this could literally be like, yeah, the next level of your relationship. It could also be the next level for your relationship involves children. Like if you're married, you're gonna have kids. Otherwise, if you're not even married, you're still like, you feel like having children is the next big step in your relationship. Otherwise, there's gonna be something like a big milestone that you're gonna have in your relationship. Could be engagement, could be you're gonna move in together, you're gonna get a dog together, something big. And I also feel like if somebody comes into your life, you're gonna know right away like whether this person, you know, is gonna be like the father or mother of your children. You're gonna know right away if you're gonna like spend time with them or not, because you have like your intuitive feelings, crown chakra. You have the Empress. You're gonna know right away if they're gonna work for you. If they're not, you're gonna know right away if it's gonna work out. And then if you're not thinking about love, if you're not thinking about relationships, I feel like with your passion project, you're going to like put your all into this. This is something that means a lot to you. You want something that's gonna like last and like bring about good returns. Otherwise, if it's not going to bring like any results, you're gonna cut your losses and move on to something else. And I also see this as that you've gone through some things, like you've gone through some highs, you've gone through some lows, and now you're able to like ride out those highs and lows because you've gone through some stuff. You know that shit happens, and you're ready to take things to the next level with your project. And then keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. This, like I was saying before, is more of, it says keep an open mind, but I actually see this as like a meeting of the minds. Because, like I said, with the Two of Wands, and like I was saying from last week, it could be that you have like an idea, and I'll interweave this, like how this is going to pertain to relationships. It could be that you have an idea that is so far ahead that not everybody catches up onto it, or you have an idea that like it's not popular like where you're at, like where your social standing is, but like if you go somewhere else, it's okay because we have so many different cultures, we have so many different thoughts, not only thoughts, but like so many different philosophies, there we go, and different ways of connecting with people, that it's ridiculous. So if it isn't accepted like here, it could be accepted somewhere else. And I feel like this is one of those situations, like if you come across somebody like where you're at right now, like where you're at, it's not really accepted. But this person that is going to come into your life, like they're going to understand you, like they're going to understand like where you're coming from because they're like on the same page as you. Or they might not be on the same page. But for the most part, I feel like it's on the same page. Like maybe the way that they express it isn't exactly the same, but underneath it all, you guys have like the same values. You guys have like the same mindset. You believe the same things. It's just the way that it comes out might be a little bit different than what you normally expect. And yeah, like I'm going to repeat, keep an open mind. It could be that your ideas are just so far ahead, or not everybody is going to agree to it, but eventually they'll agree to it. So don't lose hope. Alrighty, so yeah, I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you guys have enjoyed my channel. But yeah, this is the last video. On Sunday I'll delete this, I'll delete my account and everything. But I have enjoyed doing these videos, and hope everything turns out well for you guys. Lots of love, lots of blessings, and bye.